Welcome to the course, Fundamentals of Programming, Part 1. My name is Venkat Padaraju and I'll be your instructor for this course. First, let's talk about who can take this course. Anyone who's interested in programming can take this course. High school and college students can take it as well. And there's no experience needed at all to start taking this class. Now let's talk about the course goals. The course goals are for you to program in Java, learn the fundamentals of programming, and get the necessary skills in fundamentals of programming and in the principles of algorithm, and get you ready for part 2, which is object-oriented programming. There will be 6 chapters in this course. Let's start with chapter 1. The first chapter we're going to talk about is elementary programming. In every chapter there's going to be an introduction lesson on what the chapter is going to be. In this chapter we're going to talk about variables, assignment statements, named constants, how to read numbers from keyboard, and increment and decrement operators. The next chapter we're going to talk about is selections. In this chapter, we're going to do an introduction lesson and then talk about if and else statements, followed by nested if and else statements, Boolean data types, random number generator, and switch statements. In chapter 3, we're going to talk about loops. In loops, we're first going to do an introduction lesson, and then we're going to talk about the while loop first, followed by a do while loop, and followed by a for loop, and then nested loop, and then talk about break and continue. In chapter 4, we're going to talk about the math functions, characters, and strings. We're first going to do an introduction lesson, and then followed by a common mathematical functions, then followed by a character data type and operations, and string types, and then learn how to format the console output. In chapter 5, we're going to talk about methods. As always, we will start with an introduction lesson, and then learn how to define a method, followed by how to call a method, and then try a void method example, and then we'll learn about overloading methods and passing arguments by values. In chapter 6, the final chapter, we're going to talk about arrays. In this chapter, we will start with introduction lesson and then talk about array basics in single-dimensional and multi-dimensional arrays, and copying arrays in single-dimensional arrays, and passing arrays to methods in single and multi-dimensional arrays, and learn how to do a binary search, and learn how to sort arrays, and learn how to use an array class.